Welcome back to our run through the Mulana hard type, hard mode, but, you knew what I meant. We left off last time just after having significant problems attempting to defeat Bahamut, even though they're right on the edge of success each time. That should not continue to be a problem. We will win this run. We really don't have a choice. If we don't, it's the run that just sits here and fights him over and over for no cause, but... Oh! I need to take advantage of this. Alright, depending on exactly what fairy you get, they do different things. This is the one that makes all drop rates go through the roof. And in fact, we're going to take brutal advantage of this one. Literally anything and everything you attack or break while it's active will drop a bunch of loot. Significantly more than it normally would. We're going to take advantage of that with all this gold. The amount isn't perfectly fixed, but as you can see, it's ridiculously effective. Aw, and she's gone. On the other hand, you can see the amount we just made, and I didn't take full advantage. She also affects the drop rate of the amount of sub-weapons, if memory serves, so, if you've got an enemy that drops a particular sub-weapon you're in need of, and you can farm it, you've got a decent shot at getting that one there. But I won't swear to this, because all I've ever used it for is farming gold, and frankly, when you get the right spots and you can control what fairy you get, and there is a way to do that later, yeah, you can take pretty good advantage. Yeah. You can literally get a fairy, go find a warp to an appropriate spot for very rapid gold farming. The one I just used isn't necessarily the best, but it's a very good one. And then go grab another fairy from another spot, and then go warp back. Obvious profit is obvious. Yeah, but you've seen, if you've watched my run, all 4 fairy types at this point. The key fairy that opens certain secrets. While it lasts, it will open one secret, and there's only a few in the game. Changing that shop is one of them. There's a few others. Yeah. None of them are exactly obvious. The red one, of course, will persistently heal you over time until it's gone. We just talked about what the green one does. The blue one fires whatever sub-weapon is active. Doesn't do anything with the shield, doesn't do anything with octals, but does not consume your ammo in doing so. This can actually be very dangerous with, say, caltrops or explosives when you get them, because those sub-weapons can hurt you. And the fairy doesn't seem to understand this, and will happily chuck them everywhere. Literally everywhere. apparently it pops me right into the damn face. That's so annoying! Sometimes it will pop you all the way up to the height into the face of him, and you get hurt, and sometimes it stops just under it, and you can safely be moving into your safe spot while he's doing that. And there's absolutely no way to tell that I have ever found which height it's going to pop you up to when the waves come across. And this, of course, only serves to infuriate me even more every time I have to do this fight. Of course you're going to go back out here. Oh, come on! Literally nothing I do can control how it interacts with me. And we're now going to have to put it off again because, well, I'm taking better advantage of it this time. So yes, as you just saw, it does affect sub-weapon drops because that one gave me 3 instead of 1. Doesn't mean very much with shurikens when you can spend 10 gold to get 10 instead of getting 1 or 3 off a drop, but with the more expensive sub-weapons, flares are 40, yeah, might be more practical. Especially if you don't have access to one of the better farming places like this. And that's the end of that ferry. Alright, back to Bahamut again now. Good news is we're pretty much set for gold for a good long while. Even the expensive software, just because we're going to pick up several chests by the time we find it again. Yeah. So I can actually afford this. Completely failing to hit him with anything. And that got him. Finally. And thank God that's over with. Now, the real screwy part comes to the fact that if this isn't what finally reveals the Tower of the Goddess to me, I'm not sure what will. Because that's where it should be right there, and it's, oh look, not open. Alright. We're gonna go check it one more time, and maybe we're stupidly lucky and buying the laptop is the trigger. I don't know. I just know that I'm pretty sure I already had it by now, and I know I had it before I beat Vi. Who is the 5th boss in the next one on the list coming up. Vi is also far and away what I believe is the hardest boss in the entire game. Well, that is annoying, because that is not me having access to Vi. I guess we just have to go after Vi. Because I can find bugger all else that I can do. Okay, so apparently it is Bahamut that opens that door. And that switch there is why the ice cape is actually necessary to the game and not just, oh, you should get this in case you make a mistake. Even at fully maxed out health, sinking straight down as fast as you can, you can't possibly make it to it before you run out of health. And now we heal, and then it's time to try and fight Vi. And this is where I will be using my first set of pistol ammo, if I can ever find the opportunity. Vi is not an opportune boss to use it on. Most of the time he spends available to harm, you're busy doing other things, and it's very difficult to aim at him. If anything, I consider the ideal weapon to use on him to be Earth Spears for reasons you will probably see shortly into the fight. And I am really, really praying that it does not get faster or new attacks on hard mode, because it was already a nightmare. Still in phase 1. Let me off it. And that does not help either. You have exactly 2 opportunities to attack him, neither of which are either opportune or ideal. And the fact that you have to make your way across this ridiculously stupid evil jump every freaking time you have to come back and try to fight him again is just annoying as all hell. Coming down here, it's always at exactly the speed to hit you on the ladder. The entire thing is calculated to just put you in a state of annoyance, frustration, and fury for the entire fight. Look! I can't get off it! There goes like over half my health! All because I fell down once. did say that this was the hardest boss in the game. I wasn't kidding when I said it. I spent dozens and dozens and dozens of attempts to beat this boss. The first time, on my first run, it was a nightmare then. It's still a nightmare now. I can barely manage to find any opportunities to hit it at all with any weapon. And this is the first phase. It gets worse. And the slightest mistake at any point throws you down onto the body of the thing, where you just get constantly damaged. Nothing you do ever keeps you out of range of anything. The attacks are so completely random, you have no control over anything. The entire situation in approaching it is calculated to frustrate you as much as it possibly can. The developers went all out to just make this the most evil, vindictive, malicious part of the game you will ever have to suffer through. And the term suffer is most definitely appropriate. Because I can't get off the goddamn ground once I touch it. Really? Taking damage before it even starts moving? Ah! And once you get down there, you can't get off. One mistake costs you the entire fight. One mistake basically equates to you taking hundreds of points of damage. The entire fight is this enormous, tedious clusterfuck of RNG, which it doesn't do with any degree of reliability, and scatters so many fireballs in such random patterns that even when it does, you may still not be able to hit it. And the whole time, it just keeps moving, keeps moving, keeps moving! I'm not even managing to scratch the damn thing. We have yet to even see the second phase. Nope, completely missed my chance. Now do it again. Nope. RNG! And fucking dead again. And we're going to call this a night.